Big dumb movie podcast. No, that's already one. Spoilers? Nah, they won't invite us on that. No, it's not gonna work. Sandworm attacks. Sandworms. Wasted potential. Now we're talking here. Hey, look at these cucks. A couple of dumb hobo. Let's see. Well, they definitely hate this Shane guy. I can work with that. Howdy there, you sick of other podcasts doing better than you? Come on and hire me. I'll make my way onto the podcast and say whatever it takes to crush them under the cultural weight of cancellation. Ha! Need a couple of off-color jokes? Don't worry. Girls ain't funny. They don't write for me. Need me to lecture about racial justice? I'm whiter than Michael Jackson. Call me. I got what you need. Don't worry. Ain't a single needle touched this sweet unvaccinated. Well, I guess that makes you popular now, so let's try that one again. I'll poorly insult every race, creed, gender, made-up pronoun you can throw a dart at. Now listen, it's as simple as 1, 2, show them in the Just say my name 3 times. It's and boom, podcast gone. Come on now, what are you waiting for? No, seriously, I've been stuck at this fucking ferret hell forever. It's a living show. Just say my fucking name, get me out of here. Let me on your fucking podcast.
Hello, my name is Sarah McGoggler, and studies show that for every single half minute, a ghost is violently misunderstood. We at the Vermont Society for the Misunderstood and Condemnation of Ghosts have saved a variety of ghosts, ghouls, goblins, ogres, demons, devils, specters, and even doopies. But we need more help because this f***ing podcast doesn't do a damn thing but ramble and drink. Please join me and you'll receive a biannual gift. For just $85.99 a day, you can help provide legal fees, an attic to hide out in, specter comes, and even purgatory ordered brides for these ghosts. Call now, and we will even throw in an invite for ghost ulation. We'll send you invites for our daily ghost cumulations. Right now, there is a ghost that needs your help, and your call says, why the not? Please call right now at 1-800-478-5944. Your ghost is waiting to be saved. The VSMCG does not support the action of our former mascot Casper, the quote-unquote friendly ghost. He is not friendly in children.
Happy Halloween from Wasted Potential Podcast.
Oh, that's not this one.
Happy 3rd annual Halloween commentary track podcast from the gentleman. I am your host, Ronnie, who does all the work behind this turd that we call a Wasted Potential Podcast. And with me, as always, is my co-host and the number 2 bioexorcist in all the land, Shane.
Hello. I also bear the burden of all the ire against this podcast. Number 2 for too long. Got plans to take out number 1.
Excellent. And with us as well, our Wasted Potential Podcast ferret mascot, the jobless, the fearless Hobo Dan.
Thank you, gentlemen. How are we doing today?
Worse now that you're here.
I'm happy we're all here, boys. I'm glad we're doing this. We're here at the butt crack of dawn, drinking and talking about a movie of my choice, I believe, one of my favorite horror comedies, Beetlejuice.
Oh, Beetlejuice.
I wonder how many times Shane's going to do the German accent in this.
Well, I didn't even know they referenced, but I was like, I'm going to look it up eventually. That's something I should have done before, is if it's like a German folk story or something about Michael Keaton being summoned if you call him 3 times.
Yeah, if the German children like suck their thumbs or something.
Like a Hans Christian Andersen type of like tale.
This might be the most Tim Burton movie to ever Burton, but...
You're getting ahead of yourselves here.
Right.
This is the 1988 horror comedy if you're new to the podcast, which welcome, you're gonna regret being here. For our
Yeah.
commentary
And they're gone.
tracks, we kind of we usually talk over a film while we watch it together, and we usually have drinking games. Shane, what is your choice of drinking game?
Before I introduce this as a new listener, you're wondering, wow, I never thought to talk over a movie, and I didn't know there was really a audience for this. And you'll quickly discover there isn't.
We did too.
My drinking game for today's game is every time Beetlejuice sexually harasses someone in this PG film.
My drinking game for this film is every time there's a suicide reference. Oh yeah, we're going holly jolly in this dark comedy made for kids.
It's like asking every time Tim Burton takes a breath.
Or like a Danny Elfman does like a music flourish.
Weird though, this movie doesn't have his wife in it. What's her name?
They're never married, by the way.
What?
We'll get to
He
that in
was
a second.
protecting his sweet Burton cash, his Burton bucks.
His Beetle bucks. For We Substantial Podcast, we'd like to introduce a signature drink for our commentary tracks. This week is the Beetlejuice, and this Beetlejuice is 1 part vodka, 1 part midori, 1 part rum, 1 part blue curacao, and
Curacao.
2 part curacao, and then 2 parts sweet and sour
Curacao.
mix.
Sorry.
It's sweet and sour, just like this film.
Ooh, okay. Nice hot take there.
Hot take.
Thank you. Last thing before we start the shenanigans, if you enjoy what we're doing here, or if you want to pester us and try to cancel us, please follow us on Instagram, on Twitter. Dan, what's your Twitter handle? Because you have the greatest tweets of all time.
It's true.
Let me look it up. I changed it again.
Keep Garth keep Garth Brooks off the scent.
Garth, come at me, bro. You can't cancel me.
You also can subscribe to us on YouTube, who we love and adore and worship. And finally, we have a Patreon. So if you want to give us money for doing all this hard work, and by us I mean me,
Yep.
please subscribe, follow, and appreciate it. And Dan's Twitter handle is
You're Pepe Sylvia. And then if we get a certain amount of Patreon members, I will do something crazy, which will be revealed when we hit that number.
Yeah. Invite us on your podcast. If you're bigger or larger, bring us on so we don't have to do any of the work and get all the glory.
appreciate it.
We're wild cards.
Yeah.
Come on.
We promise my audio won't suck this time. Okay. So we're starting off our commentary track at about 14 seconds, where the Geffen Company release
Geffen
logo
Company.
is about to fade. Okay, you ready, boys?
Mm-hmm.
Shane,
Oh man, I thought this was Halloween. Damn it.
Shane, count us in.
I want to say Ooga Shaka, but that's not the song in this.
No, it's Deo.
Deo!
Swing and a miss.
Say Deo! Play.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, daylight come and you wanna go home. So,
Okay.
Alec Baldwin, I forgot he was in this. He's so young, so hot.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is
Alec-y.
pre him murdering people.
Dan, who won?
Ah!
That was our side bet we had for you.
How
Shane,
long it
and
took me to
that's
reference
my drinking game.
his manslaughter.
Yeah, my drinking game is every time Shane mentions if Alec Baldwin's shooting someone.
It's a movie about dead people. Of course, I'm gonna bring up the.
That was in 5 seconds of the thing starting. But yeah, this is an all-star cast.
Yeah.
We have
Yeah.
Gina Davis, Catherine O'Hara, Winona Ryder, who I had a huge crush on at this time period when I first saw this when I was like, I don't know, 8 or 9.
What that goth?
The goth.
Michael Keaton, of course.
The one, the only, one of our favorite actors on this podcast.
And Catherine O'Hara being
Yeah.
the same character she always plays.
Yeah.
And I love her
exactly.
every time.
Yep.
I love her every time. She's always going to be, my favorite GIFs to send are her as Moira.
The most Danny Elfman score to ever Elfman.
I literally wrote that down too. I actually love Danny Elfman's scores can get a little grating, but I love this score. It's kind of perfect for like it's goofy and it's also got a deepness to like the to it as well.
Yeah, I love how silly this is. Like it's Burton can kind of get old, but I do love how dark and silly this is. He blends it well in this movie. It's very enjoyable.
Yeah, and since we tied into our drinking games, like the references to suicide and death are extremely dark and silly for a PG movie back when PG-13 was an option in '88.
Well, Casper the Friendly Ghost is R, and that has nothing in it, so you know they're pretty fucked up with their ratings back then. So
I thought it was about a serial killer ghost, according to your synopsis of Halloween.
Watch the trailer. He's a sex pervert. Holy cow! He's kissing the girl on the lips while she's sleeping. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Now we come to Alec Baldwin. So hot, so young,
so murderous.
Yeah.
I love how the miniatures in the film kind of just play into the plot really well, but also all the miniatures being used in the actual like behind the scenes and set design. It kind of blends. It's really fun.
Yeah, they're not just there to be there. There's a point.
Yeah, and it keeps going back and forth, which is so nice, especially when Beetlejuice comes in the picture. It's really, really creative at some spots, and one of my favorite scenes is involved with it.
Did you guys ever watch the cartoon Beetlejuice?
Oh, the animated series?
Yeah.
I don't remember it, but I know I've seen it. Like I have no recollection of it.
He like becomes Winona Ryder's like friend. She like summons him when she's in need or something.
Kind of like a Fairly Odd Parents thing.
It kinda, if they wanted to marry her at some point and use her to escape hell.
Let's take the sex pervert in this movie that's creepy and make him a friend of Winona Ryder.
I think the animated series forgot the core concept of Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
Well, that's like that weird 80s and 90s of like making cartoons out of things that are not made for kids. Like there's like
the Mask,
a RoboCop one, the Mask. There's like kids' toys for aliens, like, things like that, so.
Merchandising.
So even like Ghostbusters, like that's.
I was gonna say Ghostbusters. Yeah, exactly.
There's like a lot of jokes in Ghostbusters that are not made for kids, but it's still a
blowjobs.
They're subtle enough to go over their heads. Kind of like this movie. Like the jokes are kind of subtle enough to go over a kid. But I would show my child this.
I just picture like Ronnie's father taking him to see this, and they're sitting there, and Ronnie's enjoying it, and your dad just goes, "That's not kid friendly."
He looks over at young Ronnie. He's like, "Oh, you're here. Shit."
He wants to her Ronnie.
Oh my god!
You know what is, young son?
I don't think you got it.
So many bleeps in this podcast right now. But yeah, my dad would just be sitting there just laughing to himself.
Shoot her, Alec! He almost got shot, lady. You know he's packing.
God. So my first question for you guys, Gina Davis and Alec Baldwin, Adam and Barbara are extremely cheesy.
Oh yeah.
And their acting is so hammy. Do you think that fits or is it off-putting?
It fits because they're the young couple that's barren and
I forgot about that too.
But they're just, happy-go-lucky. And it fits against the dark scenario that they're in. You know what I mean?
Winona's
like, take me with you.
Yeah. I like the contrast of like they're campy and like it's kind of happy here. All of a sudden they just fucking die within the first 10 minutes in the stupidest way, and then it's like, oh, then they're not campy anymore, and then they're in a serious situation. So I think it works for that in that aspect.
I think it works.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Alec Baldwin says he hates his performance in this, and I'm gonna agree that it's not a good performance, but it fits perfectly with the characters and the tone, like you guys were saying.
Knowing Alec Baldwin is probably because he's like, why the hell does Michael Keaton get all the glory? I had to play a jackass.
In Special shout out to
shoot
Alec
that
Baldwin
guy.
having his 7th kid.
Oh my god.
7th kid at what, 75?
I think
Yeah.
7th with the one girl, but I think he's got a couple more of someone else.
He has Ireland before, and he has 7 with Hilaria.
Hilaria.
God.
Do you know about that, Shane? Hilaria Baldwin? The whole
Yeah,
thing?
and her fake, like, foreignness, right? Isn't she like
Her fake accent and culture.
Yeah. I need to hang out with these people. Make me famous, so I can sit and be like, so Hilaria, I heard you grew up in Illinois.
In Haddonfield, Illinois.
I think she grew up in like Martha's Vineyard, but her family's like Spanish or Portuguese, and she adopted the accent that she didn't really grow up with.
Yeah, that's bad. Because, like, I can understand, like, if your parents had an accent, so you just kind of, by being around it, develop a little accent. But, yeah, Martha's Vineyard is not Madrid.
Well, her family is from there, but she didn't really grow up there, so, like, her adaptation to the accent it's just, admittedly, she kind of basically said, yeah, it's not real.
But she's so hot, so it's okay.
Well, Alec. So I love this film because it sets up everything. The dog, you see the previous scene walking, you see like the bridge, and it all kind of sets up and pays off. So I'm a huge fan of this film.
I love the setup that the dog is just a serial killer. He's just baiting his ambush at the bridge.
I guarantee that old man that was sitting there, or I guess the barber, is telling his dog, go kill them.
Yeah, he
Kill
comes
them.
back and he goes, "Good job, Heinkler. Now we will buy their real estate from under them."
Here's my next question: is how do the Maitlands afford their vacation time when they're in a small town and it's all the money is based upon Adam's small hardware business?
I try not to break my brain over the money thing, especially towards the end where he's like, "We'll make an attraction. We'll make billions of dollars." And I'm like, really? Like,
I guess they're gonna try to make like an Aspen out of this place and like like take a small town and like destroy it.
yeah.
I just picture Gina Davis is doing like Playboy on the side without telling them, or like she's going to be a baseball player pretty soon, so it's fine.
It was hot. Oh, baseball player. That's right. There's no crying in baseball.
Yeah, there you go. You got it, Shane. You got it.
I got it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
there you go.
add it to the 100 other films that fuck's been in. Not Gina Davis.
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks. I like Tom
Oh.
Hanks.
Paul Giamatti?
Paul. Yeah.
As well as having drinking games, which I don't think we've been paying attention to.
No.
Here, we have this game called Shot or Not. Well, I'll read off some trivia, and Shane, Danny will guess true or false, and the loser drinks, or they both drink. Okay. Shot or Not. This film won an Oscar for Best Original Score by Danny Elfman. True or false?
Ooh. I was going to say set design, but
False.
I'm going to say true.
It is false. Dan, for extra points, what did they win the Oscar for?
Makeup.
Ooh, Dan, you can pass on an extra drink to Shane if you want.
What the fuck? When did this rule happen? This is collusion. Danny doesn't know jack shit about makeup or the Oscars. He thought Oscar lived in a trash can.
Or the wiener.
You fuck.
Take my name out of your mouth right now.
Garbage dwelling fuck.
I love in the film how like the book and the rules of the afterlife are super vague and intentionally
arbitrary
just nonsense. Yeah.
Like, this makes 0 sense. And you're like, I don't want to read this. And I'm like, yes, I agree for any book as well.
So.
And that
Oh, good.
and that whole joke about it reading like stereo fixing like a manual. It's funny because it kind of plays through the entire thing.
I have a theory about Beetlejuice's origins, by the way.
What do you got?
I think he's the cousin of the Grinch, or he's related to the Grinch somehow.
Why?
Think so.
Has there ever been a more perfect casting than Michael Keaton as Beetlejuice?
Michael Keaton as Batman.
Birdman. I just fucking
Yeah.
love Birdman so much.
But yeah, he's perfect for this, honestly.
God, what he did with the character, because like, I just picture in the hands of someone else them casting Danny DeVito as Beetlejuice.
Dang it, that was one of my questions for you guys: is who else would you put as Beetlejuice besides Michael Keaton?
Current? Are we like recasting it for like a 2022 remake?
Okay, give me a second.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
think so.
prepared.
Or no, yeah, let's do a remake for 2022, and ignore that Michael Keaton was ever.
Do we have
in
to
the
do the
first place.
entire cast, or
Let's just do Beetlejuice for the sake
just
of time.
Beetlejuice? Okay. All right.
Children of the
Beetlejuice.
Corn.
I would cast.
Mm.
Give me a second.
Are we going for the same kind of zany, kind of dark humor tone, or are we going for the original script where it's just a dark film, which we can get into a little bit
Whatever
later?
you
That's
want to
info.
do, I guess.
Yeah, whatever you'd vision. Yeah.
Seth Rogen.
Oh my god.
No, I wouldn't do him. I would do. You know what? I'm gonna go wild. I'm gonna put Jared Leto as Beetlejuice.
I thought you were gonna put him.
Yep.
Oh really? It's so funny.
Just because I feel like he would go with that dark theme, and then he'd bring something else that you're like, do I want to fuck Beetlejuice? It's a weird thing. Is he running a sex cult in the cemetery?
If I'm gonna go for like a zany, like, because Michael Keaton had like a brief start in stand-up comedy, I'm trying to think of like a current stand-up comedian who would do really well.
I didn't know he did stand up.
Very briefly, because Ron Howard discovered him for Night Shift. Like he was just like a little bit of stand-up kind of thing.
God, he's so
Is he
talented.
from Illinois, Ron? Michael
Yeah.
Keaton?
What's up, Dan?
Was Michael Keaton from Illinois originally, or no?
I don't know actually.
What if we
Okay. I was
cast?
trying to think.
Oh, sorry.
I was trying to think if he's on Second City. Like he tried to at least, but I don't think he was. I think I'm thinking of someone other.
Bill
That's random.
Murray.
Bill Murray, what was in
Yeah,
that?
he was
No,
in
he was in
Second Street.
SNL. I don't know though.
No, he was on
But,
Second Street as well.
Yeah, Second City, and then also like Stephen Colbert, Bob Odenkirk, all those guys.
Yeah.
I always forget that Bob Odenkirk really started off more comedy than anything.
Oh yeah, for the longest time, the Bill and not the Bob and David and Bob show,
Yeah.
or the Mr. Show.
Mr. Show, I think David and Bob too, I think, or whatever.
What if we cast Kelsey Grammer as Beetlejuice? My name is Beetlejuice. I will marry that child.
I can't really think of anyone, so
Yeah,
I'm
it's
gonna go with
tough.
Bobby Lee.
Oh yes.
Oh, that's funny. That's a good one.
That's a good one.
So now we get introduced.
But he'd
Now we
be
get
more
introduced-
like a self-loathing Beetlejuice.
Self-conscious all the time.
He
hitting
would go
himself,
crazy, and he's like, "All right, I'm bored. Let's fuck someone up." Yeah.
second guessing every decision he makes. If you're not watching the film right now, the Dietzes have now purchased the Maitland's Manor, and Otho is busting through the window.
Otho is an interesting one. I like him and hate him, but that's what you're supposed to do, I guess.
I
Yeah.
love Otho.
I-
He's so over the top and closeted. And
They're
just, like,
both so
ridiculous.
over the top.
He's a huckster. He's a
Yeah.
charlatan. It's wonderful. I love it.
Yeah. He looks like what's his name's son. Shane, help me out. He's
Newman?
from what?
You talking about Newman?
No, he. Oh, I can't think of his name. It's in the Big Lebowski. He's in one of our favorite movies.
Oh, Goodman.
John Goodman.
He looks like John Goodman's son, because he looks like he could play like Babe Ruth. That's why.
Oh, I'm picturing my favorite movie now, and it's if I could make a movie where John Goodman from Arachnophobia has come to kill Beetlejuice.
Oh, the exorcist, the exterminator for the exterminator.
Ooh.
Doesn't that sound amazing?
It sounds awesome, actually.
Ronnie, fun fact: who does Ortho voice in one of our favorite films?
Voice. I'm getting animated.
Has connection to this film as well.
Jody does Chachi.
Oh, is it The Nightmare Before Christmas?
Yes, it is. Yeah,
Who's he play?
the mayor.
Oh yeah. I can hear that now. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I had to look it up. Yeah. Or I looked it up a long time ago, but like reverse, because like I remember for Christmas religiously and listened to the soundtrack, and I'm like, who voices the mayor? And I'm like, oh, I know him from Beetlejuice.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
I hear it. Yeah.
That's one of the Tim Burtonisms where you just kind of cast the same kind of characters all the time. Where it's obviously big one Johnny Depp, but even you get Christopher Lee, you get Jeffrey Jones, Catherine O'Hara. They're all kind of.
What's
in
her
the same...
name? His fucking. She's in every Burton film.
Helen Bonham.
Bonham
Carter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Helen
Yeah.
Bonham Carter.
And then Pee Wee Herman as in this one of the like sand monsters. So.
Paul Rubens is also in Nightmare Before Christmas, and then obviously Tim Burton's first film, Pee Wee's Big Adventure. Which I love that movie too. Okay, Shot or Night. Ready for this one?
Yeah.
In 2002, Jeffrey Jones, Charles Dietz right here, was convicted of hiring a 14-year-old to take explicit photos and is serving a 15-year prison sentence. True or false?
For sure. For sure. That guy's got pedo written all over him.
Lock it in, Ron. Lock it in.
Which is going to also be really weird if I pinned him for a pedo and he's not.
It's false.
Oh, boy.
It is true. He was convicted of hiring a 14-year-old to take explicit photos, but he was given a fine, probation for 5 years, and counseling.
Oh, very good.
Oh.
Very good. Meanwhile,
That-
how many people are in for having an ounce of weed?
Oh, here we go.
Oh,
My mom.
God, it pays to be rich.
Oh, a drink for the
Yeah.
suicide. Barbara was.
What did the
hunting
judge do?
herself
Did
in
he
the
look at the
closet.
photos of the 14-year-old and go, yeah, it could have got anyone? Like, what the
Oh my
fuck,
God.
man?
Well, the judge is like, all right, it's fine. 14 looks like 18 now. I have a shot or not for Jeffrey Jones. Not...
Jerry Jones.
Jerry Jones.
He hasn't been caught
as
yet.
well. Yeah. Listen to Jerry Jones' podcast. I'm old and need women. This is Jeffrey Jones's least proud movie set he's worked on.
False. He's been on.
He's been some real
other shit.
shitters.
Both say false?
Yeah.
Oh, I have no idea. But I assume it's probably Howard the Duck.
Oh, Howard the Duck. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Have you seen Howard the Duck, Dan?
I've never seen it all the way through. I've seen bits and pieces of it.
He has to wear like this prosthetics because Jeffrey Jones is the bad guy in it.
That's right.
Terrible. That's a waste of potential. Like, potential.
Ugh.
Yeah, that'd be fun to watch. I just never seen it.
A girl wants to fuck a duck.
When's the first time you saw this movie, you guys?
Oh, I don't even know.
This is a blockbuster film. I remember renting it with my dad and brother and just watching this, which is ironic because 2 weeks ago I rewatched this in theaters with my my mom, dad, wife, and my grandpa, and my dad had no recollection of rewatching with me, but the booze are talking maybe.
Where am I?
I remember the beer I had.
I haven't seen this in 30 years. I'm like, Dad, we watched this like 15 years ago. He's like, I don't remember that.
I was drunk, Ronnie.
How about you, Dan?
It's been a long time, but I remember most of it. It's just I think I remember seeing it on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for the most part.
As we were talking, I own this. I watch this movie like at least once a year for like Halloween time. I just love the zany goofiness. As I mentioned before, horror comedies are like my go-to. And this isn't really horror. It's more like a dark kind of silly horror comedy.
Is there no Szechuan?
The MSG joke.
Oh yeah. Are you guys annoyed by Winona Ryder in the beginning?
If I didn't like who she became, I would hate this character.
For me, she fits like she's that connection between the Dietzes and the Maitlands of like she's obsessed with the death, Edgar Allan Poe. It's such a Tim Burton character.
Mm-hmm.
It's so Tim Burton-y. So it works for this film.
She
but
probably wore Tim's clothes on set. Like, just,
Oh, that was my
that's
next
what
thing,
he
yeah.
wore.
Especially the glove on Catherine O'Hara's head.
It's not a dress; it's a kilt. Yeah, that's a glove for sure.
I get it. Like, she is who she is, and like, it's all right. I just
Teenager, what do you expect?
it's very Burton-esque. I think it's laid on a little thick, but you have to because it you know, it's just the
That's
character.
a style.
Yeah.
That's him.
She's a 17-year-old teenager. She's obsessed with death. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
I was obsessed with like the macabre at this age too.
Yeah, and it
Yeah.
wouldn't be fun if she was Zac Efron, you know, and he's just like, "Hey, gang," even though I don't.
Or Brie Larson.
Yeah. Oh God. Oh God.
Oh,
Sorry. I'll
um,
you know, come at me, Brie.
all right, Shane, get it. All right, Shane, go on Twitter.
Yeah.
I got it.
You fucking cheese.
Yeah. You suck.
By the way, this reconstructed house looks like a Scientology temple.
It's like it's like Tim Burton tried to have like a suburb house. It's all like German impressionism and just like sharp and terrible, like a terrible temple, like you said.
It's very clean. Very clean.
No dust.
Yeah.
This is a good setup and payoff.
Oh,
Where,
yeah.
her art tries to kill her.
Her sculptures. Dude, I love it. The Bioexorcist.
Yeah, right. It's funny, like this is like a motif of 3, and like I don't know why we can talk about the rules when Beetlejuice comes on scene, but like he can't say his name 3 times and it cuts it off on that flyer. It's kind of like one of those things. I love all the little touches here and there.
Yeah.
Fun.
And I love how
Those fucking cabinets. How useless are those cabinets? They're like 12 high.
and with the curve in it, it could fit a spoon.
Yeah. I love the sets in this movie so much.
I also like how it's just such a simple premise. All you do is say his name 3 times. But like because it's so simple, it's not so simple, you know? Like cuz once the cat's out of the bag, it's very hard to put him back in.
It's very convoluted. Yeah.
There isn't like some crazy ritual that has to happen to summon him and you have to sacrifice a goat and like it's just say his name 3 times. He brings him there. Yeah. Exactly.
And even dumber, like he has to be married. I don't think he has to. I just think he's a pervert.
Yeah. That would have been funny. He was like, this is all just a show. I just wanted to bang the 14-year-old. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, you doing?
Well,
I'm pulling the Jeffrey Jones here.
Jerry Jones.
that's the whole.
Go Cowboys!
The original story by Michael McDowell and the other guy was just really dark. It's Beetlejuice is actually like dark and wants to kill them all. The Dietzes die horribly, but then the rewrites of the script and Tim Burton kind of it became more fun and silly. And then like supposedly Michael Keaton's lines are like 90% ad-libbed and reworked while they were just doing.
I could believe it.
So I don't know how much intentional that is, but it seems like to me at the end when Beetlejuice is like negotiating with Lydia, yeah, I gotta be married now, whatever.
I could see that, and I like it. I like that they started real dark and then came like up from there
Out of the attic.
because it's a good blend. Because when you have that comedy, it helps lighten it up a little bit, but it should be a dark film. It's about 2 people that drown to death, and then fucking now they're being tortured by this rich family, and then they summon a demon. Like, my favorite. Anytime he's on, he's not on enough, and that's a good place to be.
Okay, shot or not? Do you guys want to?
This one. Yeah.
Do you guys want a true or false, or do you want to? I guess like an over or under.
Hit me.
Over under.
Okay. How much screen time does Beetlejuice have in this film? And I'll give it to whoever's the closest by a minute.
I'd say under 7 minutes.
14.5
I'd say 7 minutes of screen time.
or 15.
The end one. Obviously,
Aw.
it's 14 and a half. He's looked it up.
Yeah. I got some background on this.
It's not a ton, but it's perfect because like if he was there too much, it would get old.
Yeah.
Yeah, like very quick. Like if you had 30 minutes of him or 45 minutes, oh yeah. If you had a background story of him when he's little, then yeah, it'd be stupid.
Yeah.
Dude, like, did you guys watch the Hocus Pocus 2?
Despite my previous claims, no.
No, it was on the background and I wasn't paying attention.
My wife and I watched it, and I was like joking to myself, what do they do like a background like of how the Sanderson sisters came to be, and they fucking did it. It's so goddamn terrible.
No, they didn't.
It's because they didn't get invited to the prom or something.
When you're bankrupt of ideas and you have to like the Halloween franchise, you're backtracking to do this. They're gonna literally like do that. It's fucking
all
terrible.
fucking film now and shows are bankrupt of ideas. We're telling the story of Dahmer for the 18th time.
God.
We're making up shit in Lord of the Rings in a fucking book like this. Don't get me started. Fuck Hollywood.
No, Shane, we need more Hobbit rants from you.
They're half-foots now.
No. Oh, are they really?
Half-foots.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't watch the show, actually. I keep turning it on, getting like 15 minutes into it and going, yeah, no. And then turning it off.
I haven't tried it yet. I'm going to. I haven't had time to
Best of
go
luck
through
to
fucking 10 hours of talking. Like I said, I love Lord of the Rings. Just haven't been motivated. Moving on. Go back to the film here.
Spoiler alert, it's Sauron.
You're just sour.
Yeah.
So now I love this scene, the transition where Barbara and Adam are going into the netherworld and just the aesthetics. I know Tim Burton is a little grating now, as like his style is overdone, but at the time period and just the origin, I love all the visuals of the netherworld.
And like this idea that how you die is how you're frozen for the rest of your life, or how you're presented
it's
for
so
the rest
wonderful.
of your afterlife. And they drowned, so they're relatively like intact.
Well, so originally in the script, they're gonna have him wet the entire film, but then Tim Burton was like, that's asking a lot of the actors, so they just kept them in the same clothes, and that was about it.
Yeah.
Imagine that they having like an intern on set with a bucket of water, just like and bucket of water pour and
shot
go.
The shit out of that guy.
Yeah. Keep spritzing him. Spritz him.
He got a spray bottle.
God damn it, kid! Why do you sneak around this fucking house?
He's in the walls.
I could have shot you.
I love Charles's contrast. He's like he's stupid and like apathetic. He's wearing red, and he just wants to. He says in the film he had a nervous breakdown. He just wants to look at birds, quote unquote. But we know what he's looking at, and that schoolhouse right there.
Oh yeah,
the schoolhouse.
One of my drinking games was gonna be every time you see him in an awesome sweater.
The Cosby sweaters.
Yeah, Cosby sweaters.
So I like also that you go and death is a bureaucracy.
Yes, I love this. And, it says it later, but Otho says that if you commit suicide, you become a civil servant, which is perfectly done in this entirety of all these netherworld scenes. I love this. So get your drinks ready, boys. Here we go.
Oh boy, I love the little shrunken head. Where he's like, I love the work you did there.
So I love the visual gags. Like you don't have to say how they all died. Some are more obvious than others. With the guy that got like the chicken bone stuck in his throat, the guy the shark attack.
Yeah, the goddamn shark. I'm like, oh yeah.
Why is she green?
She's a pixie.
Maybe it's kind of like not envy, but kind of like ego, because she's a Miss America thing, or Miss Argentina.
Argentina.
Yeah, so you can see her wrists. Pretty dark for a kid's film, so a drink.
Yeah, right?
Oof, that's a drink.
I love the shark. And like, it's just so fun.
It's so cheap, but it's great.
I know, and then like the little rattlesnake inside the sleeping bag. Yeah.
Next to Edward Scissorhands.
There's like so many little things that are great, and I think I didn't mention earlier is like they had dust everywhere. Like, because it wasn't clean for, I think, 3 months, they said, or whatever. Like, just little things there. They had little dust here pop up with the book when they sat down. So detailed.
And even when Lydia is walking up the steps for the first time, the steam cleaners are getting the wallpaper off, but it's fog to set the mood. It's perfect. It's silly. It's a fun little, like, it's like the diegetic kind ofness of, like, the setting is going into the movie. It's fun. I love that.
Yeah, it's great.
There's that word again. My wife and I, every time Winona Ryder was searching for anything, we just kept going. We were drunk, but we're like, Will, are you in here?
Right? Yeah.
I can't ever see Winona Ryder and not just yell, Will.
That show sucks.
The guy that burned in his bed smoking.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's wonderfully done. It's so
I
great.
wonder if that's a way he got around the smoking rating, because like the fucking whatever AMA or AMCA or whatever the fuck they're called, they get so up in arms about smoking, and he's like, look, it's anti-smoking.
Well, this is '88, so they don't lobby as hard yet.
That's right, Reagan smashed them, those communists.
Reagan smash.
Reagan, no like your ratings. You said his movie was shit.
I just saw a movie a couple months ago, my wife and I, in theaters, called Gone in the Night with Winona Ryder. She's still, I think she's a good actress.
She is a good
in
actress.
something, but that movie, it's a pretty good horror film until the last 30 minutes becomes absolute shit schlock. It's interesting though. It's a cool premise though.
Gone in the Night.
She and her boyfriend rent an Airbnb. There's a couple that's already there. And then he disappears in the middle of the night, and she's trying to figure out what happened to him. So it's kind of cool,
Gone. It's Gone in the Dark is a documentary about the And
Is
No,
his
no,
name
Yeah,
is his
gotcha.
name Bill? Is she going, Bill? Bill, where are you?
No. There's a little comedic joke there.
I like how they made a door for him.
It doesn't make any sense logically,
No,
the file
no.
cabinet, but I love it. It's just a great visual.
It's a play on it. It's great. I love it. Yeah. And then I like this little. It kind of looks cheap, but I like it.
What a
the
fun
back
set.
of it.
I would have
Yeah,
had
it's
so
great.
much fun. I mean, it's
Drink
probably a
to suicide.
nightmare.
Mm.
And now he goes
Oh.
to a what's the artist's name? The one that does the stairs.
Oh, MC Escher.
Yeah.
Hammer.
And then
Yeah,
like
it's
it's
very
just
German
perfect.
impressionistic, and it's all just like, it doesn't make sense logically, but it's got a cool
No.
visual style.
Very German. Oh, Heinkler. He's like,
So-
You know that Biden is part of a deep state consortium.
How do you say cabal in German?
There's a little mess up there. Like it's supposed to be like
Kabul.
he pulls down like the curtain for that room, but it's actually a door if you go back at it.
Yeah.
But it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
don't pay attention to details. It's fine, Burton. Whatever. You hack.
Yeah, I don't know if this is intentional or just lazy, but Adam's shirt is that checkered, and then the floor is all checkered too.
Yep. Oh.
Yeah.
And now they've entered the Matrix, where Neo learns kung fu.
Yeah, and I love this, and this is an original idea, but the idea like the time goes different for ghosts than it does for humans. So like in the netherworld, time
Yeah.
moves slower than the real world flies. It's a cool little thing. It's not
Yeah,
original,
just like
but it's cool.
just like space in Iraq.
I messed this up. That's the meeting room from The Crow.
I could see that with the big window.
That's where he introduces himself to our bad guy who can fight the supernatural somehow.
Yeah, I love Juno, the caseworker here. She's wearing her collar is like a little a coffee filter, and she's got the slice through her neck.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, which you don't notice until you really pay attention.
Yeah,
Like-
when I was a kid, didn't notice that, but I think like 2 years ago, for the first time, I was like, "Oh shit, the smoke's coming out of her neck. It's
Yep.
awesome."
Yep.
Yeah. No.
So-
I'm like, that's what I thought. I originally thought it was an actual hole you see, but I'm like, oh no, there it is. Okay.
Yeah. So drink. She committed suicide. She cut her own throat, apparently.
So she works for the bureau.
Yeah, that's a fun little joke there.
The one guy threw himself in front of a car.
Yeah, no, that's like the thing. So there's a lot of footage they didn't end up using behind the scenes and ideas that Burton had. It seems like an absolute shit show filming this, because I was watching a few interviews because I was looking for a commentary track to actually listen, because I want to know about the behind the scenes, the making of the animatronics and stuff and all the visuals, but there's none. So I was watching behind the scenes, and Alec Baldwin was just saying how difficult it was because a lot of the visuals are all done, practically, and there's so many takes they had to do to get them right. So it was very frustrating for the actors on the set.
Shut up, you overpaid princess.
Yeah. But once again, like, I love all the practical stuff, and it looks better than the compositing. All the that's not CGI yet, but the compositing they use is
Yeah.
bad. And supposedly, according to IMDb, Tim Burton said the visual effects budget was $1 million. So he was mad, so he just kind of half-assed all the compositing stuff, so it doesn't look good.
Way to go! Way to
cutouts.
shoot
love it.
yourself in the foot to despite your face.
So,
Despite
Ron,
your face.
I kind of have a shot or not based off what you kind of mentioned there. Did you guys look into the documentary that's supposed to be off this movie?
Like the house
That
one.
sounds like a lot of work.
No. So back in 2020, there's supposed to be a documentary that came out based off the making of this film. It's called Documentary for the Recently Deceased: The Making of Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
It was kickstarted, but it's been pushed back for like years now. And so I watched like some clips of that, and one of my shot or nots is from the actual small town of East Corinth, Vermont, where the movie was filmed. The residents there in 2020, once they heard someone was trying to make a documentary on the film, actually, they started a petition to stop the Kickstarter because this movie was kickstarted originally, and even demanded that the filmmakers fix and tear down the structures that they made and altered during the film.
I'm gonna go true.
Sound like an old bunch of bitches. Yeah, that's true. That sounds like some really old people are like, we're sick of this Beetlejuice nonsense.
I have no idea. I don't know. The documentary isn't out yet. But the clips I saw, like the residents seemed like very proud of it, or like seemed very happy. Like there are no complaints. It's just like, it's just so funny and so sad that like this documentary.
I watched the trailer for the documentary, and it was just talking about the house and kind of like the origin of
yeah.
them, like it was set looking. Look at that.
Yeah, and they built a bridge and everything for it. So
Yeah. So right there, that's a fun little thing. Before your nerves, you were a demon. Shane, who's this actor right here?
Oh God, what's his name? He's in a
Robert Goulet.
Robert Goulet. With your butt and your what thong song.
the thong song.
So we talked over the
Excellent.
scene. We talked over the scene where Juno is giving like the background of Beetlejuice, and it's very vague, but basically,
Yeah.
it seems like to me that Beetlejuice was going into deeper dark arts and magic and cursed himself, kind of.
Voldemort.
So he's kind of screwed, right? Is like, how do you guys interpret like what the rules are behind Beetlejuice?
I don't know, cause she's supposed to help. So he sounds like he was like, "Oh, you're all not really helping these people. I can help them," and they're like, "But that's against the rules." And so they left.
Sounds like a typical politician.
Yeah, it sounds like he's like a Blackwater contractor. Like,
for what? For ghost bucks?
yeah, and for freeing Iraq.
For money. Yeah.
I guess he wants another whore house. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't
He
really
likes
tell you more.
strippers.
Purgatory ordered brides.
I get that.
Yeah.
Okay, if I can bring my literature degree into this, ladies and gentlemen,
God.
these sheets that I have not confirmed behind the scenes, but I think this is a reference in the entire story is to the Canterville Ghost by Oscar Wilde, and that's like the original story that I can find about where an American family moves into a British mansion, and the Americans scare off the ghost because the Americans are so terrible that they haunt the ghost themselves.
Oh, that's awesome.
and
That is beautiful.
and the short story ends with the only way to get the ghost to go to the afterlife is he has to fuck the teenage daughter.
Oh, there
Please
you
tell
go.
me.
There's the other shoe.
I was gonna say eat fast food, but yeah, that works.
I am not making that shit up. Speaking
That's
of
wonderful.
sheets, Danny, what do these sheets remind you of? We spent 3 hours talking about him.
Oh yeah, okay. I know. I think about the actual sheets, but yeah, when he first pops out, I'm like, oh, is he gonna put glasses on like in Halloween? Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
God, yes.
Yeah, which doesn't make any sense. It's under. Oh, I guess it makes more sense because it's under in
So
this
Catherine
film.
O'Hara didn't show her tits.
Oh my god.
This movie gets a boom.
At least you didn't say Winona Ryder, you fuck.
Not yet. Not yet.
I wanted Oso.
There you go. I love how incompetent the Maitlands are. They're just not good. at this at all, and even like Lydia is just making fun of him.
You guys are gonna laugh at me, but for the longest time, I thought Winona Ryder was in Titanic.
I can see she and Kate Winslet have a similar kind of face.
Yeah, they look very similar. I don't know about underneath, but that's cancelable.
Find out in Stranger.
Wasted Potential podcast.
no.
All the members don't agree with that.
Sometimes I say things and then I go, Jesus. Like 2 Shanes over here.
Oh.
Skirt. All right.
Bleep button.
Yeah. Edit.
I love that Lydia understands the handbook for the recently deceased over the other two instead.
I'm a little off put that Lydia's just so okay with the dead. I get it because she's gothic, but I don't know.
She is surprised when they finally admit, because she thinks they're just people hiding in the attic, and she goes, "You actually are ghosts."
Yeah.
So she's surprised.
And I guess Beetlejuice does scare her.
Yeah. To a point of making suicide jokes.
Yeah.
Making suicide jokes and wanting to fuck Michael Keaton.
I mean,
But who
doesn't?
wouldn't? Yeah.
Who
Oh,
doesn't?
nice.
Hey, very good.
See?
Very good.
Michael Clayton's a classy broad.
I fucking love Michael Keaton. I'm trying to think of a movie I've seen Michael Keaton in where I was like, ugh.
See right here, like she's surprised. You guys really
Yeah.
are dead. Like she,
The only mentions the funeral. Yeah.
yeah.
She's like, that's hella cool.
God, Alec Baldwin is so like enthusiastic and actually acting. It's
I know, and not
it's-
fat.
and that murdery.
It's so
That
hammy,
man
though.
has some of the hairiest chest I've ever seen, though.
It's
he
Tom
just-
Selleck.
He can't wear a shirt where hair isn't popping out from underneath it.
Okay, shot or not?
Fuck you. Sorry, go ahead. I don't know where that came from.
Beetlejuice was the first film sent out by mail via Netflix in 1998. True or false?
First of all, what the fuck is that machine? What is it doing?
It's a Tim Burton like rotilla.
Yeah, that
Tim
is-
Burto tractor.
That's a Tim Burton. That's a.
Okay.
That's Tim Burton when he's 5 years old. Like, I like this machine. I'm gonna draw it.
It was fucking stupid. That was a fucking short bus tractor is what that was. All right. All right. Okay, so Beetlejuice was the first film to
In
be mailed
98?
out in 98?
Yep.
Like with Netflix or just
Yep. Netflix sent out via mail because Netflix started as a mailing order.
Yeah.
I'm
And
gonna
then
say
you get a
false.
DVD and it wouldn't fucking work, so you'd throw it against the wall. Because everybody apparently the first thing they do is rub their DVD against sandpaper when they get it. Fucking dude, I would lose my goddamn mind when I'd watch Black Hawk Down for the 18th time, and I'd grab the DVD and look at the back and be like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "Who looked at this? What did you do?"
Why'd you grind your teeth on this thing?
Yeah, why did we play frisbee with this in the backyard?
I didn't know that Shane planned his type 5-minute rant on Netflix over here.
Fuck you, that one in the queue.
God, and then you'd end up keeping it for 8 years. Okay. That's a random fact, but I'd say true. I mean, why not? Yeah. It's probably a Ken Burns documentary, but
Dan,
I said false.
it's true.
Oh, is it really?
really,
Yeah,
that was the
film
first
released on
Netflix.
Netflix mailed out. Yeah. Speaking of which, I may or may not still have a Netflix DVD copy of The Edge of Tomorrow, which I have never watched.
Ixnay, Netflix gonna come after you. They're hurting.
I said may or may not.
Listening, Big Brother's listening.
Edge of Tomorrow. That was a good movie.
I've never
Is
watched
that
it.
one with Mr.
You've had
Scientology?
it for how long? And you haven't watched it?
At least 10 years, and I've maybe never watched it.
Don't have a DVD player.
I don't.
Well, Edge of Tomorrow is a very good movie. It's one of the better sci-fi movies Tom Cruise has ever done.
It is with him. Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was originally called like Die, Come Back,
Live, Die,
Repeat.
Repeat.
Die,
Live,
live,
Repeat.
yeah. Die, rape,
Dip, dive,
repeat,
die, and
Scientology,
dodge.
praise him. Yeah.
Dip, dodge, and dodge.
Yep.
Um,
Stop.
Okay, we're at 48 minutes, and we're actually getting our first interaction with Beetlejuice with our main characters.
Yeah, this is what modern film directors call boring, but previous film directors call setup. Like,
Yeah, well, it's interesting because it almost operates like a slasher film or like a creature feature where like you don't see your creature for the first time for almost like halfway through the film. But for me, we get enough teases of Beetlejuice to get it there. And you can fucking see those strings.
Yeah, I saw that. And then
oh yeah, but it's okay because the set looks stupid.
yeah, well, the first tease is like you see him on like the TV, and it's like a crappy old
Oh,
TV,
drink.
and it's like
Yeah.
which is nice.
He kissed her. No shudder at all.
I love it. The first thing he does is try to take Gina Davis.
Well, that's the only thing we know for sure. There we go. Drink again. Another kiss. Only thing we know about Beetlejuice is he's a horny motherfucker.
I wonder if they were prepared for Michael Keaton. You know what I mean? Like when he came, like he's just so much.
When I was watching because Keaton did an interview with Charlie Rose, you know, R.I.P. Charlie Rose's career.
Perfect, Charlie.
Basically, Keaton was just saying like he would like stop and look at everyone, and Burton's like, "Don't stop, keep going," because he didn't know if this would work because Burton had to sell him on this role 3 times because I don't think Burton knew what he wanted. So this role is 100% Michael Keaton's concoction, like his character is him.
Yeah. Well,
Amazing.
I think
I
looking
love
like
his qualifications. I never understood what he said about The Exorcist until like this recent viewing, because he like mumbles it.
yeah, he laughs at it for 168 times or whatever.
Yeah.
It gets funnier and funnier every time.
Yeah.
He's just. It's like.
Oh, this is my favorite scene in the movie.
And he's just like a mile a minute. He's just bang, 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 bang. Like if you paused and enjoyed every line he says, it's hilarious.
Drink again.
But it's so quick.
Yeah, well, I guess you'd believe me if I said that one of the original thoughts for casting was Sam Kinison, the comedian.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
That's good.
He might be too much, but it's very Kinison-esque.
The other one I was thinking of right now is Jack Black.
Except he'd be like, "Then I'd lick her pussy." Ah! You're like, "Oh wow, okay." Sam.
Well, he looks up her skirt with the stick, so
It is very Kinison-esque.
oh, it's energy. It's loud. It's loud. But yeah, this sets up the whole sandworms. His head spins like The Exorcist. These are just fun little touches.
Mm-hmm. Perfect.
Compositing looks terrible, but it's okay.
Tremors.
His little pot belly is great. Like, just
Right?
And he just runs so perfect right there. Little
I
thing.
know, right?
he just runs so perfect. He's like, don't.
He's so schlubby and Rudy.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
oh, he's so Rudy.
It reminds me of him being one of the mentally handicapped Mr. Mom clone. Or no, Duplicity, yeah. He's in.
Duplicity, yeah, what's it called?
Yeah.
Oh, Multiplicity.
Multiplicity, yeah.
We're gonna have to do a Michael Keaton appreciation episode.
We do. I could talk all day about Multiplicity, Birdman. I can talk about all. I love Michael Keaton.
Yep.
And there's the one F-bomb
Nice
in the film.
fucking model. He grabs his crotch.
I'm sure you
my
believe
God.
this. That was obviously an ad lib because when Keaton kicked the tree, it fell over, and so he ad libbed it, and they obviously reshot it because Burton loved the ad lib so much.
You know, these type of films, when you get cast for Michael Keaton, and literally, how much fun does that have to be? I mean, it's stressful probably because it's all on your shoulders, but how much fun too once you're really comfortable with the character and who you want to be. Like, is that for him to just be like, just go, bro? Like, just get after it. And he's just like kicking shit, and he's like, fuck you.
Drink suicide attempts and making jokes again.
Also, I know the shrimp turn into something scary. They're already terrifying.
Yeah, those are fucking nasty.
What kind of fucking shrimp is that? I would be like, what the shit is this?
This is some fucking chody shrimp.
Yeah, this was some radioactive shit right here.
It was after the BP oil spill.
Yeah, or the Chernobyl shrimp. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chernobyl shrimp. And
This is quality Russian shrimp.
I love the meeting. Oh, brought to you by Coca-Cola. I love the meeting here where the one guy's just like, "Well, where are the children that we're going to touch later?" Like, this looks like a total Illuminati meeting. Like, where's the virgin's blood?
Look in the background. Do you see that red handle? How plain
Yeah.
that is? Oh, it's a sliding door.
Oh.
That's what it is. I just realized now. It's a sliding door for the art piece.
Ron, it's called a telephone. They had those back in the day.
No, I think Delia is so like obsessed with her stuff. She has it behind a glass case for her
Yeah.
art.
Well, it just looks like pieces of shit.
So
Like
I
literally.
want to
Yeah.
I want to take this moment to reach out to our 3 fans of Wasted Potential Podcast and
Hey.
reiterate once again why they need to donate money to help us get rich. This isn't for us. This is for everyone. If we get rich, I will try to get us into parties with deep state people to see what crazy shit they actually do. Like, and I'll tell everything and go to prison and die for it. Like, I just want to know if they do drink child's blood or like orgies. I'm sure it's very Clockwork Orangey.
Or Eyes Wide Shut.
Yeah, oh, that's what I'm thinking
Yeah.
of. Yeah, Eyes Wide Shut. Also,
Okay.
this is hilarious that this
This
is
is
how they
probably the
possess
best
him.
scene. Yeah.
Okay, so I have a shot or not, and then I want to ask you your opinions on this scene. Shot or not? All the Calypso music, which is like set up before and then up to now, because Adam listens to it, was not in the original script. It was all suggested by Tim Burton, and then even though the producers were apprehensive, they went with it in the end.
I don't know, Tim. Hip hop's starting to get big. Why don't we do like a Rum DMC song?
There's so many accents in that one. I want to say true. 'Cause it's hard. Yeah. Yeah.
It's so out of left field that
It's hard to write.
I'm gonna say Danny Elfman had something to do. I'm gonna say false.
It is false. Do you want to guess? It's not Danny Elfman. Which of the cast members' idea it was to do this? and Tim
Oh,
Burton
I
was it?
did actually. Oh, maybe I did read this. Was this what's his name? The guy visiting?
No, it's not.
Oh.
Not a guy. Here's my hint.
Oh, I didn't hear you.
Sheena Davis.
Catherine O'Hara.
Oh, she
Ah.
wanted the Calypso music, huh?
It was her idea because they originally did like, I can't remember what kind of music it was, something else, but her idea, because she's got like choreography and kind of musical background, it was her idea, and then Tim Burton loved it, so they sprinkled it throughout the film, and then this whole entire scene's choreographed by that. Calypso music was all her idea, and this is like one of the most popular scenes of the entire
Yeah.
film. Danny, what's your original thought of this? Do you like the scene, or is it a little much for you?
I
didn't-
I like it because it's like
Danny!
that's fuck you, guy. I'm
Go ahead,
fucking
Shane.
done.
Go ahead, Shane.
Bullshit.
Go ahead.
This is
Go ahead.
a piece of shit podcast. I don't know why I participated.
Go ahead,
Danny,
Shane.
go first.
No, go Shane. Okay, fine. I think when I was younger, I didn't like it at all because I thought it was weird and like dumb. I just didn't get the point. But after rewatching it, it's one of my favorite scenes now because I think the actors make it so much better. Because watching them, how well they're acting, they're going with it, and then then randomly they're like, "What the fuck's going on right now?" And it's so wonderful. I do not like this scene right here, where it shows like where they're so happy and having fun with it, and they were like, "Oh, I haven't danced like that in years." I'm like, that's kind of ruins it for me, but kind of hard to go from that.
I like this because they're all making fun of him because the Maitlands are just pointless, and it shows us how stupid their idea was. I like this scene.
Is he still
fine.
talking?
Oh my god, you fucking,
God,
you scrunt, Shane, you're so angry.
you Norfin Scrunt.
What were we talking about before Danny rudely interrupted me?
But yeah, like you said, Danny, I agree. And the kid was like, but I think this fits perfectly with like the story and the characters. The Maitlands are incompetent, and these yuppies, these eye shut yuppies, are enjoying it. Like, oh, this is the best thrill I've ever had in my entire life. So I think it fits perfectly, and people just fucking love this.
I would replace it more with they're rich people, so like we can like make this touristy and have people come in and like they can get this experience and we can make money more than like, oh, I love doing that, like them personally.
It kind of does that. It talks about the Inquirer and stuff.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, for 50,000, yeah, that's true.
I like that they're unfazed. It's kind of like, what? They're just like,
Yeah.
that's amazing. Like they're so soulless that they don't even get scared.
That's true. I'll give you that. And I like how they won't come down. He's mad. Like, you son of a bitch.
You
By the way, that's
suck.
the uptight publisher for Delia who just like berates her and says, "I've lost money from her for years." That's Dick Cavett, the old like talk show host.
That's his name. Okay. Good old Dickie.
He's hired a hooker or two.
That's a weird shot. It zooms in on the staircase. I don't know why I did it, but I guess it gives a little.
I like how these people are completely stumped by a lock made in 1890.
Yeah, they just kicked that fucking door.
Just
in.
knock the handle off.
Come on, Ortho, eat the knob. Yeah.
That door's made of balsa wood.
Cut the hinges. Forcible entry. Come on now.
Commit suicide. Drink.
No.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Deported. Deported.
The problem is when that song is all I hear is the Lil Wayne 6 foot 7 foot rap song now.
Oh yeah.
That's
true.
what would happen in the new Beetlejuice. It would be like, oh no.
No, it'd be remade by Bad Bobby, whatever fucking name is. Yeah.
Bad Baby.
Bad Baby.
Yeah, whatever.
I guess we'll do that later, but okay. Start with Shane because
Bad
he's all
Bobby.
salty. Shane, what's your
Damn it, Bobby.
Shane, what's your favorite Tim Burton film?
Let me think. It might be this one, because like Nightmare Before Christmas is like I don't know. I feel like I'm in the minority. I'm not really like a big fan of.
Fuck, you didn't direct that one, just so you know.
Yeah.
Well, fuck it. I know, you know. But Edward Scissorhands is good. Everything. I feel like this might be it. I think I like Beetlejuice the best from Tim Burton. Did he do James and the Giant Peach?
No, it's Henry Selick, the guy who did
it brings me
Nightmare Before Christmas.
nightmares.
Yeah,
That's a creepy movie.
it is very creepy. But I like it more as an adult now than I did as a kid. It scared the shit out of me as a kid. Yeah, I think Beetlejuice is my favorite Tim Burton. Just it's got everything I love. Michael Keaton.
For sure.
Or Batman's pretty good too, but this is better than Batman.
What about you, Dan?
It's for
so
sure
to continue my
Frankenweenie.
thoughts,
No, it's for sure Frankenweenie, duh.
oh,
That's
very,
a cute
very
film
good.
for
Corpse
kids.
Bride. Oh, very good.
No,
Those are cute
you know
movies. I enjoy those.
No, I don't really know. It's a good point. Did he direct not Little Shop of Horrors? We saw this last night. What
Love
is it?
that movie.
That's a great film.
The musical one, this barber.
Sweeney Todd. Yeah.
And the
Did he?
the
Okay, that-
Butcher of Elm Street.
The
Ryer.
Butcher of Fleet Street.
Maybe that one. I like that one's different. And then maybe this one or Mars. Did he do Mars Attacks?
He did Mars Attacks, and that movie's
yes.
excellent.
That's okay. Yeah, so I like Mars Attacks because I know the lady that plays June is in that one too.
I think I like this more than Mars Attacks as a film, but Mars Attacks is just a joke a minute kind of movie.
Yeah, agreed.
That's
yeah.
just a goofball fun. That's a fucking fun film.
Yeah, it's just stupid and fun and silly.
Jack Nicholson, can't we all just get along? And then he dies.
And they shoot the dove for peace.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jack Black's the best part of that. Like,
he's the military guy. Yeah, he's
Oh yeah.
uh,
This Ron, which movie did that the snake give you a little bit of a shout out to?
Anaconda.
Close. Not really.
Oh, for sure. Never Before Christmas, right?
Oh, I was gonna say The Thing.
Oh yeah, especially like the lighting too. The very
Yeah.
dark lighting, how they lit it like this one.
Yeah.
Oh, since speaking of which, shot or not, the Beetlejuice snakehead is 100% animatronic. True or false?
true.
Oh, not 100%. That's false.
As far as I know, it's 100% animatronic.
Really?
I was
Okay,
watching
nice.
the behind the scenes of it, so it's kind of like jumpy and janky, so you can kind of tell it's pretty much like the head itself is 100% animatronic though.
Mm-hmm.
The animatronic guys looked miserable making it because those long hours of getting paid pennies to do all this shit.
Shut the fuck up, you get to be in Hollywood.
It's the magic of filmmaking.
It's not very magical. It's more dark magic. Hey, look, he's Spawn.
That's awesome.
I think you did a good point there, Shane, where like there's enough Michael Keaton so he's not overwhelming. Because one of my questions was, is he too much? But I think the limited screen time makes him not too much.
Yeah, if this movie was 2.5 hours, which the remake or the sequel will probably be 2.5 hours, and then they'll have so much of him it'll be annoying.
Yeah, you want to want more. You don't want to be on the opposite end. You would rather your movie be like, man, I wish there was more, than be like, wow, it's just getting old every time. Like, so
Yeah.
I'm glad he errs on the side of less with Beetlejuice, because his shtick would get old quicker. Like, even one more scene might be too much.
Yeah, no, it's a good break between this. He talks to Lydia, and the very ending when it's showtime. I think it's a perfect amount of screen time for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now we
he's
have all
top
this
billed.
all the CTE deaths right here.
And to keep a PG rating, they probably couldn't show more. Oh God, you're
Right.
talking about Marshall? Are people
Oh,
still
Shane-
are people still touchy about that? The 1970s plane crash?
This is a direct reference.
Yeah,
It says
I know.
This is a direct reference to that plane crash. It's dark.
Oh, I
That
know. I
is
was like, is Tim
dark.
Burton making fun of the Marshall tragedy?
That's the reference. It's dark.
Oh, I didn't even get that. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Oh,
Oh,
it is.
wow.
It's a direct
I
reference.
instantly went to they all died of CTE.
So no, and the PA system says flight whatever it is, the
Yeah.
actual flight number. So it's
Oh
a direct
my
reference. It's pretty dark.
That's
God.
awesome.
That
Or
is-
very, depending on how you look at it. Yes.
You see the background right there with the people in the movie theater?
It
Mhm.
was a better. Oh, look at that! I didn't even think about that.
Mhm.
I didn't notice it until this time. It's like the ghosts are watching
Uh-huh.
the humans watching it. It's like a weird, like I said, all these fun little visuals
Yeah.
and things that are not even that big of a deal, but they're fun.
Yeah, for sure.
And like, this brings me to like modern day, where like just that scene with the Marshall scene would have an uproar on Twitter, and they'd be like, "Well, my great grandson died in that, you fuck," and like it just. This is right before, I guess not right before, I guess mid 90s is where it started to really pick up, and in 2000s it went out of control. But like filmmakers could really get after it for better or worse. Like obviously we have some for worse scenarios, but
Well,
Burton was not afraid to do what he wanted to do.
Well, social media is obviously everyone's got an opinion, and you don't get until like the late 90s. Actually, no, you have the 80s, you have like Satanic Panic about metal music. And
That's
you have
true.
like 90s, you have like, hip hop and like metal music, and people have like a platform. You have Tipper Gore and all that kind of, what do you call it?
Some liberal fucking Tipper.
Right?
Who named their kid Tipper?
Okay, what do you guys think of this scene? It's a little much, right, for Lydia, like, writing her own suicide note?
And it comes out of left field. Like, we get that she's
Yeah.
gothic, but they haven't established that she's, like, suicidal totally, you know?
But
Drink, by the way.
I guess you could say it plays off the like tone of being suicide the entire film because they make so many references to it.
Yeah, I think they needed to lightly set that up a little bit more, that she's very sad inside, because he kind of sets up like she's just gothic, but zany gothic, it's just her style, but like set up a little bit more of the darkness. But that's just like the lightest sprinkle of anything I could say about this film, and I don't even really want him to change anything. That snake scene was actually pretty scary.
It kind of raises
And
like
then-
the stakes a little bit to know that Beetlejuice is serious,
Mhm.
to kind of like, to kill, but then once again it cuts the tension when he crashes and he goes to the whorehouse. So it's fun. It's a good balance of like the
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beetlejuice is the only threat here.
He is dangerous. He's not just zany.
for sure. But
like this scene is fucking
this is
terrifying.
nightmare fuel.
The
Yeah.
her Gina Davis's little like faces. I remember that when I was little. I'm like, that's creepy. I hate that.
Yeah, no, it's I'm trying to think. Remember, this is another Tim Burton kind of like visual from a different movie. I can't remember now. My brain's
Corpse Bride.
blanking on it.
His house must be terrifying.
Imagine it.
Like scarier than Rob Zombie, because Rob Zombie would have naked ladies like dancing, and like smearing blood on each other, and you're like, oh, okay, this is scary but kind of hot. Tim Burton's would just be scary.
We briefly mentioned this, but the football players are hilarious. They're just so
I know, right?
clueless.
Coach, there ain't no bathroom.
What the fuck we do? My head's ringing.
Oh,
Ooh, this is delicious.
we forgot to wrap up our conversation, but to me, Lydia's suicide note, because she's crossing it off and like making changes, makes it seem sillier.
What I would do if to change it, I would maybe have her walk at night just vent and speak out loud. And just threaten, or just say threaten she's gonna do it instead of actually write a suicide note. Like, I'm gonna kill myself. I hate this. It's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Or just pace back and forth in a room.
But the kid's writing like a note and just like say, "I'm gonna run away. I'm gonna do this." That seems very like high school.
I'm gonna go hang out with Michael Keaton. No.
As long as it's not Jeffrey. Jeffrey Jones.
Jeffrey Keaton.
Jeff who eats alone.
Yeah. Oh, I like that one. That was a good one.
Oh God. No, you're not allowed to hang out with the Duplass brothers. Then you'll really kill yourself.
This isn't the best compositing when you see like Keaton in the shot and her in the shot, but it's fine. The miniatures, it's silly. It works.
You could put him in front of the shittiest screen, and if he's acting like this,
Oh
I'm
no, he's
in.
good. No, well, he's the best.
No, go ahead, Shane. It's fine. I interrupt you.
God.
Another
Go
game, you
ahead, Danny.
motherfucker.
You just continue want to fucking talk and silence me.
If you're not watching the film right now, Beetlejuice and Lydia are playing charades.
Charades. Oh, that's right. He's trying to get her to say Beetlejuice. So I have a question, and this might be a shot or not later, but did they try to do a sequel for this?
Shot or not?
Oh,
The
good
movie's
segue.
box office success created plans for a sequel entitled Beetlejuice Goes Hawaiian. True or false?
Oh no.
I like that orange juice, by the way, right there.
They also like set that up earlier, because early in the film they're drinking that same orange juice, which is lazy or a good setup. I don't know.
Yeah. I would say false.
It's all they could afford was to pay Minute Maid, so they didn't want to do it again. I'm gonna say 2.
It was no.
True.
It was
true.
false because it's supposed to be Vegas.
Is supposedly
man.
it's Beetlejuice Goes to Hawaiian is true. The script was commissioned. Keaton and Winona Ryder were actually signed on, but Tim Burton lost interest and they
Good for
scrapped
him. Finally, he says no.
I'm glad. Just the problem with sequels, and I get it from a money standpoint, because like in the end, executives have to pay for their Porsche, so like you have to do it. Like so I get it, but this is perfect. And if we made a sequel, maybe it's great, but
No,
odds are it's not as
it's
good.
gonna be shite.
Yeah, it's been how
and-
many? It's been 30 years now. Over
I
30
think it
years?
would be more fun to, instead of a sequel, have Beetlejuice appear in another film unannounced. You know what I mean? Like, oh shit, that's Beetlejuice, and then like he's gone. Like, I think that's more fun and better for the character. To like tie a universe together, like another Tim Burton film where they say his name and he appears and then he's gone again. And you're like, what the fuck was
A
that?
cameo.
Yeah. That's what
Come
they
on.
called it. Cameo.
Come on, Shane. You never saw Teen Titans, the show, animated show? He was in that.
I would, for me, if they're gonna remake or reboot this, I would prefer they go with the dark, sinister tone and not have Michael Keaton in it at all, except for maybe like he's a cameo on the TV. But like if you're gonna remake it, which I don't think they should, like you said, Shane, I think just keep this as it is. I enjoy it, even if it's dated. Just if you're gonna remake it, change that tone. Make it just 100% dark and don't go for this kind of silly tone they have now with
Yeah.
Alec Baldwin's penis nose.
Yeah, but I don't know how well a dark Beetlejuice would play. I guess you could make it really scary, but then it wouldn't be successful because people would be mad. They'd be like, "I want what Beetlejuice was."
Make it an 8 episode like creepy thing on Netflix, and then have Michael Keaton die in the first episode.
There
Yeah,
you
just
go.
do that. It's like, oh, people got what they wanted.
Don't
and then-
give them ideas to do like a prequel.
Oh, no, not a prequel. I'm like,
The
no, no.
birth of
Oh
Beetlejuice.
god, the rise of Gru featuring Beetlejuice.
Yeah, the more we talk about it, the more I'm like, oh, I'm glad they haven't turned their eyeballs to Beetlejuice.
They keep talking about it, and they asked Michael Keaton. He said, "Oh, sure, but that's just an arbitrary discussion."
It's still supposed to come
because
out.
Keaton has 8 Porsches. He's got to pay those bills, man.
For sure.
Keaton's career is an interesting one because he does Beetlejuice, he does Batman, he's huge, and then he kind of falls off a little bit, and he does like a self-biographical ish movie in Birdman and Rises Again, in the weirdest like fact and fiction molding into one.
For sure. Yeah, well,
And then
like late 90s,
he's kind of
2000s. I think he's raising a family. I think that's why he kind of slowed down.
Yeah, he was Mr. Mom. Come on.
That was the 80s.
which makes me think that he's actually a good person to be like, wow, I shouldn't participate in Hollywood when raising a family. This place is crazy.
The whole Rick Moranis
Like-
thing.
Yeah, I was
Do you
gonna
know about
say, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so Dan knows about it. Shane, do you know about Rick Moranis?
Yeah, his wife died,
Yeah.
right? And then he dropped out of acting to raise his kids and
Yeah.
be a good person
Mhm.
instead of like making movies with rapists. And
It's because he's Canadian.
Yeah, and I'm so fucking
it's always
happy
a good
they
sign.
didn't bring him back for the stupid Ghostbusters movies, the remakes.
I'm glad that might be dead. I think Ghostbusters is
I
dead.
don't think it is.
No,
You
give
don't
it
think
give it
so?
5. Give it 5
I
years.
think Afterlife was
I
successful.
don't know, man.
enough.
Like Disney made a Star Wars show and no one's watching it. Like I think people are getting sick of the shit.
You're wrong, but
Yeah, I think
Marvel's not doing well.
people
Like,
complain, but they're still watching it. They're still subscribed to Disney Plus. They can complain all they want to. Numbers.
I don't think
Numbers
so,
speaks.
man. I think
I know, man.
I think we're reaching a pinnacle where these companies are going to start panicking, and we're going to start getting some good shit again.
I think there's too much money in complaining, aka our podcast, about film, and there's too much money in it. So
Very true.
I just don't think that's Disney's gonna die. These Marvel and Star Wars shit's gonna keep going because there's an audience to love it or hate it.
They're coming out with Black
I
Adam.
will counter argue. How was Black Adam? Did you see it?
I won't see it. Like, 'cause I'm just so
I won't
I
either.
not because it's The Rock or anything. I'm so tired of superhero movies. Like I still haven't seen the last 4 Avengers movies.
Same, but
Yeah.
the opening like reactions to Black Adam is it's worse than Morbius.
Oh, man, really?
That well, it just came out yesterday. By the time we're filming this podcast, so the current reactions from nerds are it's worse than Morbius, and Morbius is like a boring slog. I fell asleep in it.
I can't wait till they go on Twitter, which I'll be in participation for, to bring it back and it bombs again.
Dan Rather, tell us about Black Adam.
Oh yeah, Dan Rather write a poem about it.
You fuck.
Dude, this
Vietnam. You fucking communist bastard.
dude, this scene
You shit on the graves of
Yeah.
veterans. All right.
this scene is like effective and horrifying where the
Yeah.
makings are like
And I don't understand it. So I get it. He's reading from the book, but he doesn't know what he's doing either.
So
But he somehow made this work.
my interpretation of this is they're bringing him back to the real world, and then because they're dead, they're aging and they're dying, right?
they're becoming back to corpses, so it's their physical
Back to-
bodies
yeah,
are
okay.
now embodying.
I get
And he's
it.
reading a poem which I looked up is by Thomas Lavelle
Edison.
but Beddoes is called The Warning, and it was hard for me to find this. It took me way too long to find this. It's a very obscure word thing, so I don't know who the fuck found these like words.
Oh, Tim Burton's got a library of dark poetry.
Vincent Price and then this shit.
Yeah, like you mentioned, Ron, this scene for sure like is like tattooed in my brain though, for sure. Like
It's
it's so creepy.
It's also sad too. It's actually a moment where I actually feel bad for the Maitlands.
You can kind of
Until Alec Baldwin's like, I'm into this.
A literal corpse bride.
oh
Yeah.
Foreshadowing.
Okay, I got a shot or not, but it's gonna take the two of you to give me a guess. So work together.
Okay.
So it's not true or
Okay.
false. It's gonna be a shot in the dark here.
If there's one thing Danny and I do well, it's work together.
work together
Exactly.
and tag team. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. We tag team really well.
yeah. Running
Uh,
trains, no big deal.
Tim Burton himself has 2 Oscar nominations for 2 films. Which 2 films has been nominated for an Oscar for?
Okay,
Tim
Shane, I
Burton.
think we can agree on Edward Scissorhands, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say Edward
Okay.
Scissorhands.
Oh.
And is it Big Fish?
No, he wasn't. He didn't do that. Right? I don't think so.
I thought he did Big Fish.
Did he?
I think
Ed
he
Wood?
did Big Fish. No, not Ed Wood.
While you guys are thinking about that, right now, this is my favorite part where Beetlejuice is getting ready for some showtime.
Yeah, this
right
is.
Here.
The little like after she says the second one, little like pat on the shoulders just makes it so
Mhm.
great. For some, I don't know why, it's just so great.
It's his face, it's the suit, it's his everything. It's perfect.
Can't teach that.
I want to say Big Fish. But
Okay, I'll say Edward Scissorhands, and you say dumbass Big Fish.
that's what we're going with. Edward Scissorhands and Big Fish.
You're both incorrect.
Ah.
His 2 Oscar nominations
This is your fault, Danny.
are for Frankenweenie and Corpse Bride.
What the? I told you Frankenweenie, Shane.
Frankenweenie.
It's cute.
It's about a dick that like named Frank.
Speaking of which, since you guys didn't ask me because you're a bunch of cunts, is my favorite. I think Tim Burton's best movie is Ed Wood. I love.
I was gonna
that
say
film.
I said that before. Yeah.
Oh, look at
Uh-huh.
those like the wires. He did
Look at
not-
the
he did
strings.
not
That's
even
really bad. They
try
don't
to
give
do
a fuck.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
And,
my favorite scene though. I love when Beetlejuice is just let loose.
A little shout out to Jack Skellington at the very top of his costume.
Yep.
This is just
What a weird choice.
this gave me this how weird this is in general, kind of like Hellraiser, just so random and creepy.
Yeah, it's almost like why the fuck would you be a carnival barker? But it also makes sense. Beetlejuice is like
Yeah.
a comedian. It's like a carnival barker. It kind of fits his personality, even though it's like
He's a gesture.
it's also
Yeah,
like
there you go.
a weird Freddy Krueger kind of go back because the original Nightmare for Christmas is that his arms are really
Yeah.
long in one of the nightmare scenes.
Can we do Nightmare on Elm Street next year instead of fucking Halloween?
And then this is my obligatory mention is I don't like that original movie at all, and everyone hates me because of that. But yeah, we can do
Yeah,
that
I
for a
was
deep
I was
dive.
I was rewatching that too, and then I got sidetracked.
It's fucking boring. There's some good ideas, but the filmmaking is really
Yeah.
boring.
Applicably, you're right.
And
You know, I'm looking at Michael Keaton's outfit, and I've seen way too many punk rockers that dress just like him.
Like Rob Zombie.
Like Rob Zombie. There's no tits though, so Zombie has nothing to do with this.
So to not mention, unfortunately, to mention Shane's other podcasts that less people listen to than this one, Shane notoriously hates the Nightmare Before Christmas because, in my opinion, his argument is he hates Hot Topic and he hates the culture behind it. That's the problem with Tim
Yes.
Burton films is the rabid fans make it obnoxious. Like,
Yeah.
just like people who are obsessed
Yeah.
with Tim Burton.
It's like anything where you take a unique style, and then when everyone adopts it, it's not so unique anymore.
Or like Tim Burton, if you don't branch out, then it gets
Yeah.
just like, yeah, we get it.
It gets sticky.
We get you like goth and all this themes, but okay, fine.
I've seen this red dress again. This is like a Tim Burtonism, isn't it? Like where the bride has a red dress.
It's an old saying like bride wearing red, better off dead. It's an old thing.
I thought it was I'd rather be dead than red in the head.
There you go.
Thank you, Shane. Thank you.
Well, I thought it was about gingers.
there's some culture where red is you wear red on weddings. This is just me being an ignorant American. That is
So
Japanese.
this is what is it? Lock and Stock.
Oh, Lock, Shock, and Barrel.
Yeah, that's what these remind me of.
Oh yeah, well, it's a fun, like I said, payoff for the end when Delia's creations.
Oh, that would be fun. What if we had Oogie Boogie and Beetlejuice team up?
There you go. You're Oogie Boogie fan film.
Big Oogie Boogie fan.
Mm-hmm. So
And this little alien guy.
I know, right?
I love it.
only you two will get this reference, but I'm sure this is stealing. This reminds me of fucking Avenged Sevenfold. What's that song, Dan?
Oh,
What do you mean?
A Piece of Heaven. A
yes,
Piece of Heaven.
Yeah, Piece of Heaven.
Piece
That's
of
one of my
Heaven,
favorite
yeah.
songs. Yeah, that song is so wonderful.
The song is so Tim Burton-y, and I don't know why, but like
Oh,
the whole
yeah.
marriage break
Yes.
in the middle of it. This always reminds me of that.
Yes, that's a good, perfect point. Yeah, where like the actual song, everyone thinks it's so campy and fun, but actually it's about like he fucks like her dead corpse.
It's a rape and necrophilia.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Perfect.
Very good. Thank you, Avenged Sevenfold, for that one.
And
And all the lifted Ford Rangers and Affliction shirts you helped sell.
And all the Metallica riffs you steal. Well,
Oh,
Pantera.
that's a different
Pantera,
debate.
Pantera.
Fuck you, M. Shadows. You killed the Rev.
I thought it was heroin.
R.I.P. buddy. R.I.P.
That's what they want to tell you. All right. So Alec Baldwin has to save the day by loading a revolver.
I'm laughing at that, but also the squealing. I love Michael Keaton's squeal.
Yeah, no. And it's like his little like reactions to each person saying it. You can't like write that. It's just him being like improvising. It has
His
to be.
comedic,
And keep
his comedic timing is just perfect.
Yeah, and who would?
Oh, the ring.
And it's so great that like Tim Burton actually like saw this and envisioned him doing it. It's mind-boggling in a way.
And how he's scary, but I think there's some rule that I don't understand that he can't kill people. Because he doesn't kill anyone. He just like throws them away or like
I think
does wacky
ships
shit.
them to Africa or
He's only
something like
allowed
that,
to
yeah.
scare people.
It's
He ships them to Africa.
it's implied to me that he can kill them if
meant
he's
nothing to me.
summoned, but I think it's almost like a genie because like the three wishes, the three name, he can he can't break the rules. He told her, "I'll save them for you if you get married." So I think he's got to play by some weird arbitrary rules.
Yeah.
I'm glad they don't get too deep into it
Yeah.
because it allows them to do whatever they want with the character.
Yeah, of course.
What do you guys think of the sandworms? Is it just too ridiculous, or is it just fine for this film?
It's fine for the film, and they reference it earlier. Oh, sandworm attacks 13%. What the fuck is that? Shut up! You big dick bitch.
Sorry.
All right. That's amazing.
If Shane doesn't acknowledge it, I could cut it out, but he's a dumb.
Yeah, no, you fucking idiot,
Oh.
Shane.
Shut up.
What?
This is a professional podcast. So I like the sandworms. They set it up earlier, like you said. Like if it came out of nowhere, it'd be wrong. But he references like, "Oh, sandworm attacks 13%." Wow, these are a lot of fat students. Oh my god.
Oh my god, you asshole.
Look at these chunky chunks.
Oh.
Danny, what do you think about the visuals of the sandworms? Is it okay, or is it too like?
I think
where's
it's
the beef?
borderline. Honestly, I think it's right at like maybe a little bit over the top.
Yeah.
I think you could take them off. I think you can. And I just think of Tremors.
But how do you kill him then?
No. The sandworms itself to me are fine. I just think the terrible compositing in the yellow is just such a contrast. It's a little takes me out of
Oh,
the film every
okay.
time.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
It's just so stop motiony. It doesn't. I think it's fine because the like the netherworlds, the rules don't matter. It's fine, but it always kind of takes me out of the film a little bit.
Yeah. No, I completely agree, especially at the end right there. But again, I just think, like I said, just think of Tremors, and I'm like, I kind of wish they were actual Tremors.
Oh yeah, the graboids.
Graboids, gargoyles.
Ooh, we need to watch Tremors at some point.
That's a great one too.
That'll be a fun one.
Yes.
Shane, since you mentioned
so-
casting, shot or not for you, and I think Danny already knows the answer to this. Originally, Tim Burton wanted Sammy Davis Jr. to play Beetlejuice. True or false?
Ooh, interesting. I'm glad that didn't happen. Not that anything against Sammy, but Michael Keaton's so
alright.
great.
Edit that one out.
Whoa,
Edit that one out.
Hey, come on! No, I saw Ocean's 11.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's the best
okay.
part of that film, though.
He is the best part. No, he wanted him in this film, but not as Beetlejuice. I'm gonna say false.
Dan?
I didn't. I skipped it because I thought, I assume you were gonna do it. I want to say true though.
It's true. Tim Burton's first choice was Sammy Davis Jr. because his idea was kind of like have like a Vegas kind of showroom kind of guy do it, but then
That's cool.
The producers were like, he's not hip with the young people for the 80s.
Yeah, that's what they said.
Yeah.
Yeah, drink by the way. The producer's trying to.
They might have said some other words.
Some producers like, we can only have one in this whole entire film.
There's none actually. Beetlejuice was
To
assaulting
your
that
left.
girl's legs.
There you go.
Yep, drink.
I have a couple more shot or nots if you want to, or we can wait after.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's do them while this ends out, and it ends epically with Beetlejuice getting his
Yeah.
just desserts by being a dick.
Yeah.
Then I will talk about how I like the ending with Winona Ryder.
Yeah. I kind of miss this one because we're talking and someone rambles in this podcast. Shane. Alec Baldwin
Oh, yeah,
earlier
bitch.
mentions because in the beginning they kind of can't remember his name is Beetlejuice, but Alec Baldwin calls him Beetlemeyer. That is a special shout out to the last name of one of the unit producers, Doug Beetlemeyer.
Who was later arrested for plagiarism.
I'm gonna go true and just say that compositing looks so bad in that small head.
It does. You can see the
Oh,
round
does
of it
look
looks
bad.
so
Look
bad.
at the
Yeah.
lines and
You
everything.
see the wires on
But
one of the
it's
riders
fun.
here.
They were not good at hiding wires on this one.
Like supposedly Burton didn't give a shit, but Danny, I'm gonna go true.
Hey, it's Marshall.
No. Again, no.
Where's
Again,
Matthew
I have no
McConaughey?
idea.
Oh my god!
I have no idea.
I made it up, so I don't care.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Shane, with your little rant at the end.
I was gonna say I really like the ending of this film. It's kind of corny, but it also demonstrates that Tim Burton's like, see, like being a goth isn't all it's cracked up to be. Don't be a fucking weirdo. Like, go get good grades and like.
And hang up all the fat chicks that Shane makes fun of. Yeah.
There's so many efforts.
Look at all the manatees.
Such a scrunch, Shane.
Okay. Oh boy, that one will get me. Okay.
Before the fat shaming, I agree. I like the ending. It ends on a fun note, so that everyone walks out of the theater like laughing and singing.
Yeah, and it's a little weird because at first I thought like her parents left
Yeah.
back
Oh,
to
yeah.
New York and just left her to be raised by ghosts.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh, that's a little fucked up, but whatever. But I like that like they set up that Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis can't have kids, so they always wanted one, but they couldn't, and then they have her, and so now in the afterlife they get to be fulfilled in raising her, and she is a weirdo, so she likes to be raised by ghosts. So it's like a Casper the Friendly Ghost, but not the version that Tanny keeps pitching.
Dude, watch the trailer. It is sketchy.
It is.
Casper the Handsy Ghost.
Yeah.
Huh?
I have before we get to the recommendations, I have one more shot or not. Ready?
Yeah, so do I. So go ahead, Ron. Too. Yeah.
Beetlejuice, the star in our solar system, which the name of the title is, it's not German, shame, is 764 times larger than our sun in our solar system. True or false?
What a weirdo. They named their star Beetlejuice? I'm going to name the star Britney Spears.
Is it like a imploding star?
Yeah, it's already imploded.
Like Madonna.
Side note,
Yes.
I'm watching the credits here, and Tony Cox, like the African American short guy from Bad Santa who plays the elf. That's him in the mask. For like the little like.
Oh,
priest.
really?
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
I'm
fun.
reading,
Oh,
right here, yeah.
fun.
That's awesome. I'll say true because
So-
I know.
so-
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
Danny Cox is the only black guy in the film.
No, no, the guy that shrunk his Beetlejuice's head.
Oh, was that it? Was
Oh,
I
yeah.
guess
Yeah.
so. So two. There's two of them.
Two.
It's dope.
Yeah, that's
record.
true. It is 764 times larger than our sun. It's the 10th largest star in the entire galaxy that we know of right now.
Will it eventually kill us?
Everyone keeps saying, but even if
Probably.
it does, I think it's so far away it won't affect us.
Oh, I hope it does soon.
Yeah.
Dan, shut it up before we get to
All right,
recommendations.
last one. I'll do it quick. There have been a couple video games based off Beetlejuice, one being made for the Nintendo Game Boy entitled Beetlejuice, Horrific Hijinks from the Netherworld. True or false?
Oh, that hurts.
You go, Shane. I'll pick the opposite.
False.
I'll go true.
It is true. It is also based off the animated series.
Oh, that makes more sense.
I'm only true today.
Whatever, man.
Everything else was bullshit.
Dumb.
Okay, let's start off with Dan here. Dan, I think I know your answer here, but if you would or would not recommend Beetlejuice, tell us a little bit why.
Oh yeah, I would for sure recommend this film. It's fun, it's silly, it's great, and then knowing the little bit behind the scenes about it, and then how much, like, knowing how hard they worked on like the makeup, the animatronics, and everything else towards it. I think we said this like a lot, but I think Michael Keaton's for sure the best part in this whole film. Only complaint would be I'm not the biggest fan of Winona Ryder. I would replace her maybe with, I don't know, Britney Spears, like Shane mentioned.
Britney Spears?
Yeah.
Britney Spirits.
All right, it's a joke of the day. Nice. But yeah, no, of course, I think we can recommend this film. You can even watch it not during Halloween time. I think that's a testament to it the most.
For sure. Thanks. Dan, Shane, what about you? Recommendations or not, and tell us why.
I'm so glad you finally gave me an opportunity to speak in this podcast.
So my podcast is
yes.
called Fair and Friends.
Where we fuck ferrets. Harder than you think. Wily little bastards.
Larger than life.
And then we eventually start our other podcast, Surviving Haunted. So
That's a reference.
I recommend Beetlejuice. It's excellent. It demonstrates perfectly how to take the best part of your film and not overplay it. It's Tim Burton at his best, not his worst. Yeah, I wouldn't redo anything in it. I love the whole thing, and I'd be afraid to fuck anything up to change it. So, Michael Keaton, obviously, anything he's in, I'm already on board. But
Nice.
Yeah, watch Beetlejuice whenever you feel like it or want to.
And then Ron, your opinion, obviously.
Yeah, not to repeat too much. I love the design, the set design. It's a strong opening style for a director for his second, full feature film. But I love the characters. Is my favorite part. It's just like the characters are all well fleshed out. They all play off each other really well. They're all unique, and it's tons of fun. It's a fun movie. If you don't like, over the top, ridiculous, silly things, and I can see why it might not be for you. But I love just the silly energy, and just the jokes and the visuals for sure.
Agreed.
And then prosecute Jeffrey Jones.
He still does voiceover stuff, so people are giving him work.
Yep. Even though he paid a 14-year-old for explicit
And
photos.
he's still wandering the earth.
They walk among us.
Did we say Jeffrey Jones or Jeffrey Dahmer?
Oh no,
Dahmer got prosecuted. Jeffrey Jones is still fucking roaming the earth.
It's Jerry Jones.
But there's the same reaction though. Dahmer got off on probation too after that 14-year-old.
Ah, true.
These Jeffs, fucking all these Jeffreys.
Jesus.
God damn it.
Watch our next podcast where we bitch about the legal system.
Anything else to add, boys?
and talk about the hand jobs that Jerry Jones and Robert Kraft give each other.
And our next film is Philadelphia.
14-year-old Vietnamese.
Oh yeah.
Where Denzel hates gay people.
Okay, boys. Anything?
That's a plot point.
I know it is.
God.
Anything else to add before I wrap this up?
What are we gonna watch next?
I have a.
Or have we given up on doing that so we don't have to be tied to what we say on this?
Well, the next podcast is one we already recorded, so.
Oh, that works.
I have a witch in my basement. If anybody knows how to get it out.
Okay. Thank you all for sticking around to the end of the podcast. Thank you for subscribing. We appreciate it. Thank you for dealing with our humor, our jokes, our screaming, our arguing, and someone's terrible opinions about those who struggle with weight. If you enjoy this, subscribe, follow, let us know how it is. Please apply for our Woodsboro Sheriff Department. And happy Halloween to you all.
And I'd like to take this last moment to talk about something I really care about, which is the lack of opportunity for veterans to make podcasts. There's not enough podcasts where veterans talk about their experience in the military. So support all veterans who make podcasts, because there's not enough.
And also donate to the Vermont Society for the Misunderstood and Condemnation of Ghosts.
And fat bitches.
And we're out.
There we go.
Thanks Christ. Okay, so since we have a recording, hey, Shane, did you actually listen to our 3-hour Halloween podcast?
I did. And God, is it awful.
Thanks.
Nothing like fucking cracking booze at 8 in the morning.
I think this is our first commentary for Halloween we've done in the morning. We usually do it at night.
It's actually not bad. I just realized that I might have a problem with cum sluts.
And I got dethroned on the God share pretty quick though, so
No.
no more hosting.
Okay, drinking.
Yeah.
I actually preferred it because what would happen is like Danny would talk to one of us instead of all three of us talking over each other, because if I watched it, Danny would talk to me, Shane watched it, he talked to him. Except for Shane interrupting Danny like almost every time he tried to do a synopsis, and that was a bitch to edit.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the
This is a
synopsises
professional
were
podcast.
ridiculous. Are we on HBO Max watching this, by the way?
I bought it on Amazon Prime. I bought it like 2 years ago.
Oh, so where are we at?
Wow, you
like
bought it.
already?
Big baller.
I know.
I love this movie. I bought it like years ago though. I'm at 10 Seconds versus the Geffen Company release.
Und Geffen Company.
Hold on.
The HBO Max version like was super glitchy this morning when I was rewatching it, so I was like, I'll just do the Amazon version.
Okay.
All right. I am
Okay.
Funny, the Amazon Prime version says 7+.
Oh, for children?
Yeah, ages 7+.
Yeah, of course.
Damn.
He says fuck.
Yeah, I forgot about that. He says fuck. We're at once, right? If it's PG-13, you get a random fuck in there.
This is a different time. This is a better time.
Okay.
Reagan was in charge.
Are we ready, boys?
All right, let's do it.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah.
I can't break the signature drink too. Shit. I gotta put that down 1 second.
I have a beer. You didn't tell me the signature drink, so I have a beer though.
I sent it
It's
in the
Und Beetlejuice.
Beetle.
Beetle, guys.
The Heinkler shot.
Okay. You guys ready?
Let's do it.
So sweet.
Oh, but hi, bud. Go. Hey, buddy.
Oh, how's Jabba? I want to meet him.
Jabba had another tough night, so
He's just
he's
crying 'cause
puking up
just-
everything he eats. Hey. All right, hold on.
Yeah, take your time.
Go.
Jabba, his fucking abortion dog.
Yep, that's Jabba.